Welcome, crew, guys, gals, ghouls, friends, fiends, foes. Whoever may be listening beyond the omniverse tonight, secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high, get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners, and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. It is Saturday, July 13th, Sunday, July 14th for those of you across the pond and beyond. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, and welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and we are broadcasting live from the Mile High Clubhouse tonight. I'm so glad and grateful that you could join me this evening for a night of pretty trippy TikToks, I must say. I just went through and made sure I had everything online as far as that goes, and it's going to be a good frickin' show, I gotta tell you what. Also at the very end, we're going to have a story time, so it could be Reddit ghost stories, which is what I generally do, but if you want me to get into the restaurant at the end of the universe, just let me know. We can do that instead. It's all about you guys, so yeah, let's make our peeps happy. If you're listening live right now, you may be listening to us on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. We Are Paradox Media on Spreaker. Also, you can find us on KPNL Radio, which you can find at KPNL Radio at kpnl-db.com, as well as eTalk TV, which you can find at etalk.tv/radio. If you like to watch as well as listen, just look us up on Facebook, We Are Paradox Media, or if you don't mind, mosey on over to our YouTube. Please like any video that you've watched or listened to, and please subscribe. We're getting a little up there in numbers, like, I see all these other people that I follow and watch and such, and they're like, 60-something thousand or a million or whatnot. So it's saying we're having internet issues. If you're seeing any internet issues, just let me know. Wow. Yeah, so this thing has got a mind of its own, I must say. Hello. But yeah, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps. Please leave me any comments, whether good or bad, as far as what you think about the show and what we can do better next time. If you want to listen in your free time, whether you're working it or working out, look us up wherever you listen to your TikToks, and you should find us there. So I'm going to kick off our TikToks. And it's funny because the computer decided to do that on its own, but here we go for real. All right, this one is about fallen angels, so I just got to make sure really quick this is muted and make sure peeps over here on Spreaker, my original peeps, can hear me. Everything looks good. Let's get into it, shall we? In the meantime, while we're doing this, you might see me ducking down. That means I'm plugging in the router extender, just so we don't have any frickin' issues. Ready? Let's go. This is indeed nightmare fuel. And just in case you guys don't know, nightmare fuel is where I found this TikTok. Please make sure you subscribe and follow. I don't really subscribe on TikTok. Follow these guys. This is so creepy. And it goes back to scripture, etc. Was that it? Oh my goodness, that was so creepy. I did not like that one. Okay, I was wondering about this. Nightcrawler. What is a nightcrawler? Oh, I see. Oh, it's those like walking pants things. I've seen those like in videos out in the woods, but I've never seen them like in urban America. That's pretty intriguing. Somebody really starched those jeans. That's in East Texas. Wonder how they fared with Hurricane Beryl. Wow. They sure are like slow, lanky critters, aren't they? Just need to go back up here really quick and make sure I demark that one, demark this one, and on to the next. Did you hear what happened to Trump? Holy shnikes. A matter of time. Oh my gosh, that was so freaky. I was not expecting that. I don't know about you guys, but it kind of seems like he goes back and he's like directing the lightning. Is he the one that summoned the lightning in the first place? Is that Thor? What is this? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know down below. And it upsets me that I have to unlike these videos, but if I don't, it's going to be here next time I do TikToks, and I don't want to have to go through all that. I believe this is a dog man. No, reptilian. So when are we going to see the reptilians? I want to see one. No, I don't like that. Reminds me of a movie Alien. But a lot of things that are real are depicted so it's a little easier for us to swallow. I'm not sure. I'll probably do the same thing. Gonna empty the whole clip in that. Wow. And why are they shooting into the sky? Can these reptilians fly? Or there's missiles going to a certain place? They look like artillery to me, but I'm not quite sure. Definitely not me, coach. So am I to assume that this is one of the reptilian spacecraft? Because I do not recognize this ship. Or this aircraft. Ew, when it comes out, I don't like it. Definitely support your troops. Don't be like Starbucks. Okay, so this is going to be very mucky because it's underwater, and so there's some things being kicked up as far as sediment, etc. But this is pretty interesting. This was found between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, north of Baghdad in modern Iraq. It is Al Jazeera, the island of the Arabs. South of this lies Babylonia, named after the city of Babylon. So this is not underwater, or is it? It looks like it's in this is supposedly Sumerian text, which looks very alien. So this is not in underwater, this is in a cavern or something. All these different relics and such, it's amazing. Thank you, Nightmare Fuel.
Take a look at what happened.
Take a look at what's going to happen right now. What? Was not expecting this. I've heard people talk before, and not about Trump, about the other guy, so... Trippy. Something bit me! Isn't that crazy? Like, how long has it been? Was it like since Reagan? Reagan is the last one I can think of that there was an attempt on, but I could be wrong. Oh, they got the shooter quick. Wow. Could you imagine sitting behind him when this is happening? Holy shnikes. Not me, coach.
For whatever reason, they're pretty close to the house this morning.
Quit feeding the stray animals. Just kidding.
Just out of sight, like usual. Girlfriend just came upstairs screaming, woke me out of bed, said that there's something on the roof, and I don't see it.
So I've seen this one before, and I thought it was like, well, when I first saw it, I thought it was Bigfoot, because when you look in the distance, you could see the glowing eyes, and it's just watching him from a distance. Like Bigfoot does quite a bit. But then when you see it on the roof, creepy AF.
I think one of them's up there somewhere. I don't know. But she said she's going to leave if I can't do something about it.
Better fix it, mister.
I don't know what to do here.
Okay, now I hear the
What
howling.
was that? All over the damn place again tonight. I'm gonna keep walking towards it.
So the backstory on this, when I saw this on a different video, was I think he had gone out hunting or something like that, and whatever this is followed him back and was there for well over a week, just harassing them. So you can see its little peepers over there glowing. Ooh, reminds me of a rake.
All right, whatever you are, you need to leave. Stay out of this place. This is our home.
Put your foot down, mister.
This is our home.
Cocked and loaded, ready to fire.
You need to leave. You leave now.
Here to go, buddy. Buddy Road.
I don't think it's going to come around for a little bit. I think that'll keep it away for a while. She just woke me up again and said she heard it on the roof. And this time, so did I. So you can get out there. Have a look. Okay. Oh,
yeah, look at
holy
that.
shit. All right. So is one on the other side of the house.
Yeah, you're gonna run over there. He's definitely Ramboing it. I would not be that brave. I would have run back in the house.
What the hell?
What the crack is that? Is
Where'd
that
it
a
go?
carcass of something?
What is that?
Like he took his dinner up there to eat?
What the son of a... What's going on here? Oh my God.
Ooh, T-shame. Well, this must be extra creepy because they want us to make sure we want to watch it. So if you're scared, hide your little peepers. Because we're going to watch this. It's another Dogman thing. Super creepy. Super freaky. It's super freaky. Yeah. See, that does not strike me as a Dogman. Add a shirt again, just because this was the first one I found, then I found the other one, but...
Hold on, your head is bloody. So we gotta move to the bus.
It's like, hey guys, you're messing with my signs. Just kidding. No, he's not even afraid. You should have seen him. If you have not seen the original video, like, I missed, like, the other part of the other one because I was trying to plug stuff in just in case our internet fails, but, you know, everybody's, like, covering him, you know, Mr. President, because he was the president before, so they're still referred to as president. You know, stay behind us, and he, like, peeks his little orange face out there and does the fist and says, fight, fight, fight. And then you could see, like, it looks like the top portion of his ear got shot off, or maybe it grazed that and the side of his head. But yeah, you could tell, like, his hand went up and then came down and, like, smeared some blood on his face. Creepy. So this is about the only other advanced intelligence races other than us. I have not watched this. I just saw the title of it, and it looked interesting to me. Let me see who this is again. Airmine. Yep, can't see it. It should say, though.
Advanced intelligences that are interested in humans on this planet are our future selves who want to come back, who will have to come back in order that that they don't disrupt the timeline. It's a self-creation process. In quantum mechanics and quantum physics.
What do you guys think about that? Like, I've heard this theory before. This is not alien. This is our future selves, which could appear alien to us. There's so many different races of aliens. It's hard to decipher which is which. A lot of people think they're not actually coming from outer space or doing space travel. they've been here the whole time because of that barrier we have between us and space. Man, I can't think of the word right now. I'm having a brain fart. The ether. So they can't get in because of the ether. Is that true? Perhaps if they are the future us, they know how to unlock it. I don't know, but let's listen to this guy.
You have to have the future influencing the present in addition to the influencing the present. That's what non-local quantum entanglement is all about, the future influencing the present. Advanced intelligences that are interested in humans on this planet are our future selves who want to come back, who will have to come back in order that that they don't disrupt the timeline. It's a self-creation process. In quantum mechanics, in quantum physics, you have to have the future influencing the present in addition to the past influencing the present. That's what non-local quantum entanglement is all about, the future influencing the present. Advanced intelligences that are interested in
Wait, let me go back.
advanced intelligences that are interested in humans.
I've seen craft like this. I'd much rather be on the ground and have sightings, which has always been the case. Not at any moment in time have I been in an aircraft and seen anything like that, because I would have really lost my shiz. Okay, so this, I believe, is in Australia. Let me make it bigger so I can read what it says. Okay, so this is Odyssey Bunker TikTok. Make sure you follow them. I am following, but this is in Sydney, Australia. And this has also happened over here, but check it out. Creepy.
Oh!
Okay, so I see the pyramids in the back. Is this actually in Egypt? Like, do they actually have streetlights near the pyramids? If so, these seem a little close together from what I've heard, but I really want a green laser because of not only this video, but other ones that I've seen. But this is the first one I've seen with pyramids in the background, so fill me in. Is this in Vegas or is this in Egypt? Like, where the crack is this?
Oh!
Do you imagine?
Tipo, es que debe ser un metal grande o un espejo, no sé,
No, dale, porque se dio filete en la gracia.
porque para que rebote de esa forma, claro, ¿cachai? Eso no es una linterna, ya cachamos que no es una linterna.
It's the way it shoots
rebote,
back.
¿cachai? Yo alumbro
Is it a
allá,
reflection that they do, or are they actually shooting their own green laser? That is so funny. Could you imagine doing that? That'd be awesome.
Tem.
Como?
Okay. This one is awesome. And at first, like, these Brazilian natives are like, aliens? What are you talking about? And then they go into what they believe these are. I'm going to pause it for a minute so you can see here what it says, but it's pretty interesting. And they have their own rules and such about this as far as, like, don't spend too much time, like, focusing on or being around them, because it can be dangerous.
Alienígena.
Ela diz? O que é isso?
Nunca, essa palavra você nunca ouviu falar? Alienígena.
Alienígena, não. Isso chama-se Maio Shibu.
Isso aqui?
Sim.
Mancunawabu.
Mancunawabu.
Sério?
Mancunawabu é um que mora debaixo da terra.
Lives
Eu
underground.
falei, esse aí.
Que se virou formiga hoje, que nós chamamos Una.
que é uma formiga grande, chama-se mancu-nauabu.
Que essa formiga também é muito perigoso, né, Boina? Se as pessoas ficam
I love
mexendo
his
com ela
headdress. It's
demais,
so
ela leva o espírito
pretty.
da pessoa para
Pra
debaixo
terra.
da terra também. Para
Caramba.
voltar tem que ser um pajé bem bom.
São seres que pode aparecer em luz.
Oh, come on. I'm trying not to switch over to the adapter, but I might have to.
Como?
Alienígena.
Cool.
Ela diz.
He's like, oh, what? What are you talking about, white man?
Page 55 from the committee's interview.
This was so weird. Okay, so this is not the original video that I saw this on, but I saw this and I just had to share it here with me. Get a little closer here. This is weird. So either this chick wrote the speech or she's something else, like AI, alien, something weird.
Interview with FBI employee Roya Demlo, who you just spoke about, which took place on July 17, 2023. In that line, she says, the question was asked, okay, if someone were to leave here today, were to leave this interview and were to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020.
See, she's like trying to cover her mouth to keep from mouthing the words. It's like, what the heck are you doing, sister? I don't know. And the way she's like wide-eyed and stuff, like either she's twacked out and she hasn't had a lot of sleep, so therefore like her motor functions are kind of off the wall and whack, or she's something else. I don't think she's on drugs and stuff. I think she's something else.
That the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden, that the contents belonged to Hunter Biden, and that the contents had not been manipulated in some way.
Go back.
Would they be representing what you said, correct? Answer by Ms. Demlo. They would be representing what I said because I don't have much knowledge of that. They would be misrepresenting what I said because I don't have much knowledge of that. Because this committee likes to misrepresent or leave off complete sentences of what individuals say. Page
Trippy.
When did this Earth begin? And the answer is 4004 BC, so life on Earth is roughly...
Okay, so this is basically going over how old actually is Adam. And I have not watched this. So a lot of age descriptions of dinosaurs and other things I do not trust or believe in because it's carbon dated a certain way.
When did this Earth begin? And the answer is 4004 BC, so life on Earth is roughly 6,000 years. How old was Adam when he died? Great question. Let's take a look at the genealogy of Adam. It says here that he died at the ripe old age of 930 years. How many years did the antediluvian race live before it all was wiped out in the worldwide flood? And let's continue on.
And some people call this the worldwide flood. Some people call it the mud flood. Is it the same thing? Or these two different episodes? I'm sorry, I had to look at my phone really quick because SIRI has been popping up for no apparent reason and saying, I don't understand, and then talking about diarrhea. Like, what the heck are you talking about? Very offensive, Miss S. I'm not going to say your name and refuse to communicate with you.
And we'll find out right here, 1656 years. What year did the flood take place? 2348 BC. And how long were they on the ark? 1 year and 10 days. And one last question. Who wrote the book of Genesis? Ah, that's a great question. As we go through history, we find that the writer of Genesis was the former commander of the Egyptian army, Moses himself.
He completely lost his head.
When did In just a moment, I'm going to show you one super compelling piece of...
I'm just going to pause really quick because I want to be able to share this page with you, and I erased everything off my phone as far as like where I want to go. Lost World Museum. If you're interested, please go and follow these guys. They have a lot of very intriguing stuff. Let's continue, shall we?
of evidence, proof of a worldwide flood some 4,400 years ago as spoken about in the book of Genesis. Yeah, I'm talking Noah's flood. We went to Glen Rose, Texas to the Creation Evidence Museum. Outside the museum was a large Araucarius pine tree, and the state that they found it in screams worldwide flood. We'll let Dr. Carl Baugh, the owner of the museum.
I hope this doesn't go into another video that I shared. Maybe the other video is shorter, but it's talking about, I don't know if any of you have been to the petrified forest. I have. It's very amazing. I was only like 12 or 13 at the time, but I did get a piece of petrified wood, which can be good, cannot, because supposedly some of that stuff carries radiation. But yeah, let's see if he's getting into what he is. If it is, it's about the tree that flattened because it was covered so quickly instead of it being over time with heat and exposure and radiation, etc. You know, a lot of those are round logs, and they're fairly big if you've ever been there. But this one is flattened, so it's been covered very quickly by the mud flood.
Museum, explain. Let's go to Glen Rose.
This is a very significant fossil which came from northwestern Colorado, adjacent to our dig site. This is an Araucaria pine, and
see, and that's so weird because the petrified forest is down south from us, and this is up north. Something big happened, I must say.
the bark at that Araucaria pine has been found in 3 states, totally lithified, fossil, just rock, fossilized. It has been found carbonaceous, compressed into coal, and some of the bark in that immediate vicinity is still fibrous. Now that's astounding. This is an Araucaria pine that grows round, yet you're seeing it compressed into an oval. Above the Araucaria pine are over 15 layers of sedimentary deposit that run through 11 states and into Canada. So in order to explain this, while this was still pliable, those layers were laid down over it in a sedimentary global flood context.
So it squished it.
It squished it. It compressed it from a round object to an oval object. And some of the material in it, some of the bark, is still fibrous, which means it's young, and the only plausible explanation under these conditions is the global flood of Noah's day. The entire
Look at how
tree,
squished it is. Like I said, like I am blown away. I did not know that this was in northwest Colorado. I'm in southwest Colorado. And the petrified forest, I believe, is in New Mexico. And that could have been due to, like I said, like, you know, the blast that killed the dinosaurs. It could be due to all the nuclear weapons that they were testing. That's why I said, like, I'm not so sure it was good to have a piece of petrified wood. But yes, this blows me away. I wish I could read the whole sign.
over 120 feet.
Oh no! Hold on, guys. Sorry.
When did this? In just a moment, I'm going to show you one.
I just blew it up and it
Did you
messed
know
up
that
the
Stephen?
whole thing.
I'm going to show you 3 artifacts that seem to defy
I was trying to zoom
evolution.
in.
This was found in 1912.
In
In just a moment, I'm going to show you one super compelling piece of evidence, proof of a worldwide flood some 4,400 years ago, as spoken about in the book of Genesis.
While it was still pliable, those layers were laid down over it in a sedimentary global flood context.
Mud flood.
So it squished it.
It squished it. It compressed it from a round object to an oval object.
I wonder if there's any
And
rocks
some of
poking
the
out at any
material in it,
point.
some of the bark, is still fibrous, which means it's
Wow.
young, and the only plausible explanation under these conditions is the global flood of Noah's day.
2348 BC. Which really means nothing to me. I'm so bad at time and space.
The entire tree runs over 120 feet.
So you've only got a section of it.
We only have a section
How big was it in the first
Evidence
place?
of the tangible effects of a global flood.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
In just a moment, I'm going to show you 3 articles.
Okay, so this is amazing as well. I know we all know about this pickaxe or hammer, whatever it might be, dated back from what I heard in the first place was millions of years. I'm not sure what they're going to say here. Lost World Museum. Please go and follow these guys and check out what they got. They got a lot of good stuff.
Artifacts that seem to defy evolution. This was found in 1912 in a coal mine. It was in a large piece of coal. It broke open. This is a replica of that.
Holy coal!
Cup. That's the original cup. What's an iron cup doing in coal? Unless
Exactly.
coal was formed at the same time that iron was. That does not support evolution. This right here is the London hammer. Here is the original. What's interesting about this is it's encased in alluvial stone. You could make the argument this is, great-grandfather's iron hammer, but this is starting to coalize, and there's a little nick that was taken out of it 75 years ago. It's right there, and it didn't rust, and it has chlorine in it. Here's the chemical makeup right
Chlorine?
there. Iron and a little bit of chlorine, which is unusual.
Why?
This particular artifact right here, I kind of panned at one time, thinking it was kind of meh, until I saw the CAT scan. This was found in limestone, which means it's 100 million years old, which it could be because humans weren't that far back.
That way.
But if people died in the worldwide flood, then this would be encapsulated in limestone. They believe that this is a woman's finger to someone who is over 6 feet tall, and the cross section very compelling. I can send you this sheet right here if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
So there you have it. Apes, aliens, or Adam, where did we come from, friends?
I do not know. Mars, perhaps?
Did you know that Stephen Jay Gould and Hawkins both together looked at this London artifact at the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose, Texas at the same...
So did you see that? Like there's a scratch on it, has not rusted in 80-something years, and then the guy just a minute ago said there's a nick in it on this other side, has not rusted as well. Where the heck did chlorine come from? Excuse me? Are we flooding the world with pool water? What the heck is going on here?
Time. What's amazing about it is it's encased in stone and its handle is turning into coal. So this is either great-great-grandpa's hammer that was lost in the mud, or it was caught up in the worldwide flood 4,500 years ago. What do you think? Did you know
So
that
that
Stephen
shell
Jay
up
Gould
there,
and Hawkins...
So that shell is there because that was on top of where this was found, which means this was covered in the mud flood, and then this
both together looked at this
seashell
London...
right there. Oh man, I wish I could go back, but that was on top of the hammer. That's why it's in the same place. It was on top of the hammer. They removed that. They found this hammer. I keep wanting to call it a pick, but it's a hammer. It's so freaking mind-blowing,
artifact
dude.
at the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose,
Makes no
Texas at the
sense.
same time. What's amazing...
There's actually 3 heavens mentioned in the Bible. First heaven, where the birds are. Second heaven, where the stars are. Third heaven, where God lives, apparently. The heavens, plural, declare the glory of...
Okay. That kind of trips me out right now. And like I said, I have not listened to this. I just saw the title of it and wanted to play it. But that kind of goes back to the church next door. There's 3 different layers of heaven. I'm trying to think of them right now. I cannot think. I'm having a brain fart. I had the biggest brain fart this last week, you guys. You wouldn't even believe it. I bought my popcorn and sodas, 2 sodas and a popcorn for $17.50, and then realized, hey, that was supposed to be the money for my tickets. So Yeah, I had to borrow money from my mom to take the kids to the movies. I borrowed $20. We sat there for about 45 minutes and got into the next show. But I've been having totally super epic brain farts. If you'd like to record this and put it in for posterity, please feel free to. But there's the Telestial, Celestial, and something else. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Celestial, Celestial, and Telestial? No, something else. I'll think of it later.
God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Heavens. There are 3 of them now. In Genesis 1:1, there was only one.
Oh, I remember. Terrestrial, telestial, and celestial. So terrestrial is here on Earth. Celestial is in the middle there. Or, yeah, terrestrial here on Earth. Telestial in the middle, and celestial up at the top where, you can hang out with God, your brother Jesus and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty interesting that they have this. Sorry for interrupting, but I finally remembered.
One. He hadn't sliced it up yet. Anyway, and God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. What is this talking about? Water above the atmosphere? That's what it says, right? Psalm.
Well, then it also makes you wonder, okay, so astronauts, space travelers, they train in water. So that kind of makes sense because, you're a little weightless, you're a little buoyant, but it's not the same as anti-gravity. It's not the same as being in space, if we ever have. I'm not quite sure anymore, All these things that I've read and heard and learned and stuff, like, I thought I knew everything, and now I'm back to with the crack, kind of feeling like I'm learning over again. Or learning over again, not re-over. But I don't know, it's pretty crazy. But anywho, like, some people are saying there's water around us, below us, and above us. Space is not space, it's water. That's why the stars flicker. I don't think that's true. But I do believe there is a firmament that could be the Van Allen belt. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, please.
148. Praise him, ye waters that be. You mean there's some still there? Above the heavens, plural. Apparently, the earth was created in the water and out of the water, according to 2 Peter 3.
Water?
And there was water above the firmament and probably another layer of water above the stars. I think that one is probably still there. The Bible says God stretched out the heavens. 17 times it says he stretched out the heavens. What does this mean? Well, the atheists are going to say, how did the starlight get here if the Earth's only 6,000 years old? How did the light from the stars get here? They're asking the totally wrong question. The Bible says God stretched out the heavens, which means the question is not, how did the light from the stars get here? He made the earth first, and then he made the stars. And then he stretched them out into place. So the question is, how did the light get from the star to here, but how did the star get from here to there? The stars might be billions of light years away and still only be 6 years old. See, a light year is a distance, it's not a time. Distance. We cover more on that in video 7. But the Earth today has 6 layers. The troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere, and ionosphere. Okay. There used to be a 7th layer, a layer of water or ice above the atmosphere. There was water above the firmament. I happen to believe it was ice, because cold ice can be suspended by a magnetic field. Really, really cold ice, like below zero, becomes magnetic. You can float it. Like the Japanese have the maglev trains. They float them off the tracks and go 300 miles. There's almost no friction. I think the canopy of ice was floated above a magnetic field, or simple air pressure like a big inflatable building. Building. It's only, according to the Jews, Josephus said, this is 2,000. He said the heaven above the universe, surrounding it with ice. He placed a crystalline firmament around it. Did there use a crystalline canopy of ice above the atmosphere? I think so. Probably 10 miles up. Squeezed all the air that's now, say, 60 miles, our atmosphere, squeeze it down to 10 miles. Off with a couple inches layer of ice, solid crystal ball. And there under the crust of the earth. It says in Psalm 24, the earth is the Lord's. He hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Psalm 33, he layeth up the depth in storehouses. The is a reference to the ocean in the Bible. He stretched out the earth above the waters. 3 verses tell us there was earth above the water. When God first made the world, there was a layer of water, ice, a layer of air to breathe, thick, a layer of dirt and rocks to stand on, the crust of the earth, and water in the crust. That's where the flood came from. The Bible says the fountains of the deep were deep, and then the windows of heaven were open. The flood in Noah's time did not rain. Came from inside the earth. The earth broke open like an egg for whatever reason. We cover one theory on video 6 about that. But the earth cracked open like an egg, and the water came shooting out. And they're still cracked in the world. They're called fault lines. San Andreas Fault, Hayward Fault, New Madrid Fault. None of them are my fault, but okay? If hot water is shooting up into the bottom of the ocean, now think for a minute, where does it have to be coming from? Down deeper than that, someplace, right? There is still lots of water trapped in the crust of the earth. I believe when made the world, it was kind of like a big greenhouse. This canopy of ice overhead would protect them from red sunlight and stuff. There's actually 3 heavens mentioned in the Bible. First heaven, birds are. Second, if you look at the country of Turkey, at the far right-hand side, you will see a mountain called Mount Ararat. It is 12 miles from the border. On a Turkish map, it's called Namshi, which means Noah's big boat. That's the name of the region. They've got signs. In 1978, there was an earthquake. Either it lifted up or the ground dropped down. I don't know. The same. It is now sticking up out of the ground about 18, 20 feet. But
Hey, get up on that washer, hit the spins, I come home. Don't worry where I'm at, I'm out here breadwinning, so don't hit my phone. Give you treats like that, you got a sweet tooth and won't leave me alone. And every time I try to get some sleep, up, cause you doing me wrong. Naked up under covers, used to fight it, but I hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets like who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? Who? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? Ain't playing, think I'm playing, I'ma how you doing them this shit. Plates grateful for this delicious food. Why you want on fours? What you scrubbing? But you like it dirty. You like it dirty. Under covers, used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak. Ruin all these sheets like who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? Picking up covers, used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me weak. Cause they ruin sheets like who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who doing you doing laundry? You doing laundry? First of all, I was sleeping. And second, creeping. Third of all up on me, rubbing like conditioner that you be trying to leave in. Love, keep breathing, and I would say keep cleaning, but dirty, you like it. Sneaking up under covers, used to fight it, but I hate it that you got me weak, cause now we ruin all these sheets like who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? Who? Get up on that washer, hit the spin cycle till I come home. I'm out here breadwinning, so don't hit my phone. Should look streets like won't leave me alone. Every time I try to get some sleep, I wake up cause you doing me wrong. Who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? You doing laundry? Picking up covers, used to fight it, but I love it. Hate it that you got me, cause now we she's like who doing laundry? Who doing laundry? You doing laundry? You doing laundry? You doing laundry? Picking up undercover. Yeah, you like it dirty. You are so dirty. You like it dirty. Undercovers. Yeah, she like it dirty. So dirty. You like it dirty, yeah? Yeah. Bubble on that. Yeah. Real cute. On the way. On the way. To be honest, I don't really wear man. I don't even really rock panties. Let me be clear, I'm used to getting a few new big pair each year from a couple sexy ones that might come up, and I done had way too much Henny or drunk text go out. They come in and buy down there, I'ma go that route. But now, nigga, wrong song. I only need a couple of buzzes. That's why I started mentioning that lingerie, but pull her to the studio with some long johns. This verse about for the worst, and all them cute panties gonna be long gone. Cause the hating niggas that I wrote it for, they ain't afraid of they wrote this far, so I'ma drive them wild. Thinking one day they might hit all about my voice shorts G-string. Put them head up with panties on the cover, so they wonder how that bubble tastes. You can stay mad, be miserable, old, predictable, and applicable. But yeah, you typical. Check your mans if it ain't you, cause queens rockin' shades, cause they eyes black and too many dudes putting hands on the brown. That make you feel like a man, mishandling a wig up. So, yo, look, it's way too many dudes only wanna spawn. No conversation, only wanna gossip when we talk. Why I keep seeing these grown dudes? They look like some broad. Why I keep seeing these dudes like these girls fighting on the stopper to recall? These little niggas online, the worst part, lame hoes got a squad. And all they do is this that nigga blow. I be like, come in, big boy. Take off the I just came from shopping. Let me slip you into something real soft. Prefer the laces satin. Some pretty little bows, they gon' hang off your balls. Look at you sitting pretty, yeah. You the type that rock, yeah. Come here, you cute, yeah. Real cute, female, cute, real cute. Why you mad we getting money? Maybe let them punish out. Oh, by the way, cute pennies, bro. Got disconnected, but don't watch me hating in a second. Back at the crib, remember she paid her phone and the rent. Squash a nigga vegetable soft, nice. Some vegetable bro. Leaving comment at the comment. You that thirsty, drink vomit. I promise I ain't never seen nobody when I hate me. Be honest, is you mad at me or the fact that I'm grinding? It's a fact that I'm winning, son. I really be shining. Diamond, you ready to swing on this little bitty girl? So don't tell me I'm lying. Way too many dudes waiting to make that make you feel like a man. Mishandling a weaker vessel, yeah, you slow. Y'all way too many dudes only wanna spar, but ain't got no conversation on it when we talk. Why kicks in these brown dudes? I got a broad dated like some broad. Kicks in these dudes like these girls fighting on the stopper to record. These little niggas online, lame hoes got a squad, and all they do is dislike the females doing interviews with that nigga blood. I be like, come in, big boy. Take off them drawers. I just came from shopping. Let me something real soft. Prefer the laces satin or the silk, cause some pretty little bows, they gon' hang off your mouth. Look at you sitting pretty, yeah. You the type that rock them cute pennies, yeah. Come here, yo. Cute, yeah. Real cute. You hating on a female, cute, real cute. Why you mad we getting money? Maybe that's why you sag a let them punish out. Cute pennies, bro. Real cute.
I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if my right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't care if it ain't right. I'm gonna live my best life. Don't if my head ain't right. Do you and live your best life. Can't if my head ain't right. Live my best life. If my head ain't right, do you and live your best. Don't care if my head ain't right.
Sweet dreams told me don't let go. Sweet dreams, please don't tell me. Take me by surprise. It's gonna be different now. It's gonna be different how when it's steady pouring rain. We're stepping out the mud.
Sights none is spare, especially the kingdom encased in melanin. But these suckers are weak, kings and queens will ride again. Come on, slackers with badges, the white sheets and the maggots. Watch them fall as I tag them because I'm better than average. A sharp shooter with words with my eye to the scope. And they escape when I've donned the black cape? Is hell no. I'm a ninja for right, who can vanish from sight. Pick you off in the night, but still the Lord is my light. Perceiving all you see, the truth behind the scenes. Instead of jumping bandwagons, the light says believe in me. Cause you're a puppet, no doubt. 45th turned you out. Though I saw your lips moving, no sound came out. So I was sent from the heavenlies, born so you could find me. Swam the scene and stream, took flight during the 90s. Landed in grace, wrote a verse of hip-hop. Got with Jay and found the taste was smooth as butterscotch. We had hood love and money. Problems, they be on me, but we stayed in the flow. It had juice like Manolo.
They can try to oppress, you can try to impress. I'm just after success, none less. You can look in my eyes, you can feel in my vibes. Came down inside and it's so man, no. I got God on my side, I ain't worried about none. If it ain't about money, then it ain't about none. Laughing at my enemies, I know they see me coming. If it ain't so they can't even see me.
Politics abolish it. I'm here to raise the consciousness for every face and race up in this nation trapped in poverty. Diamond in the rough, need to cut, shape it and polish it. Bad thoughts cripple life, we can just be an optimist. We can be an optimist, reconstruct apocalypse. Broke people always hating, mix me with that gossiping. Rose up in the concrete, rain and sun, I'm blossoming. My people need to be like kind of Velcro, then we conquer it.
They can try to oppress, you can try to impress. I'm just after success, none less. You can look in my eyes, you can feel in my vibes. Came down inside and it's so man, no. I got God on my side, I ain't worried about none. If it ain't about money, then it ain't about none. Laughing at my enemies, I know they see me coming. If it ain't so they can't even see me coming.
joke, and he's weak in disgust. He plans to divide, but there's no stopping us. If we have to fight, go toe to toe for our lives, we prevail and got sight, cause only light I recite. I blow my lyrics like a shotgun, camouflaged inside the tracks. Now watch the suckers run. Now moving fast enough, heads up, now here I come. I designed 50 ways to make this murder fun. I spit the lyrical rain that coat the concrete, that give life and take form. Arise and walk the street. Am I the greatest to spit? Feel the spray and we'll see. Let it dry, all the lies and the truth will point to me. Even when surrounded by a million MCs, I'm the one under the sun who's the greatest of these. I got the Holy Ghost juking and tapping while I'm rapping. Sticking and moving like Roy Jones, I'll make it happen. Even animals move when the novelist is rocking. My doggy started barking, his ears just a flopping. Subliminally, I penetrate camps like an enemy. Flicking the lights, cancel sight, cause you're not seeing me.
They can try to oppress, you can try to impress. I'm just after success, none less, none less. You can look in my eyes, you can feel in my vibes. Live a king down inside. And it's all sentiment. I got God on my side. I ain't worried about none. If it ain't about money, then it ain't about none. Laughing at my enemies, I know they see me coming. If it ain't subliminal, they can't even see me coming.
That was okay. Just making sure my sound works there. That was Mr. Roy Washington from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He is actually our musical host. He's given us most of our music, basically 90% of our music. Yeah, my daughter just messaged me. Did you hear about the Trump rally? Oh, sister, yes, I did. Crazy. Let me just respond. Crazy. Yeah, that was just a matter of time right there. Anywho's, let me stop my cam, make sure my sound is bouncing. It is. It's bouncing. It's good. Everything looks good. Ooh, E.T. Shane. Sorry, doing my show right now. I did actually show videos. Of that. Really? I better not say what she just said. Perhaps he shouldn't have turned his ugly head. I don't know. Yeah, that is crazy. I still can't believe that that happened. But let me just put this Weird Paradox Media closed music down here. Just had to make sure everything is working as far as... It's crazy, but I feel like it has been a long time coming. It's super crazy. So Biden has dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever the crack he has. Should not be running for president again. He needs to give that to some other super epic, whatever Democrat. I'm not Democratic. I'm not Republican. I'm like I'm a floater. And the last time I voted was for Obama. Otherwise, like, it's independents and other people. This year is probably going to be Bobby Jr. because I believe in the Kennedys, and I would so love to see what that's about as far as what they were going to build. What is it called? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, something went wrong. We need to refresh this. But no, with Bobby Kennedy and stuff, like, I don't know, Bobby Kennedy Jr. Okay, so his voice is kind of weird, I must admit. And I go to church with a lady that has the same thing. She's so beautiful and lovely. And she does have the same, like, voice thing going on where it sounds like you can't hold your tone, but you actually can. And, yeah, so sorry. I was just looking at.
Did you know that Stephen Jay Gould and Hawkins both together looked at this London artifact at the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose, Texas?
Yeah, so this was where we left off. It was
Did you know
the
that
same,
Stephen Jay Gould?
Same thing as we were doing before, but not quite there. Anywho's, sorry. I pressed the wrong button, of course. You know me. Hello. I cannot read what your name is. Is your name Rain? Thanks for joining us. We were just going over some crazy TikToks. One being Trump being shot at. I'm not a fan, but I did not expect that. But hello. Hi. Thanks for joining us. You just got in here as we are no longer dealing with our crazy freaking sound effects. I don't know what happened. I thought for sure that... Oh, now he's gone. And that was on Facebook. But anywho's, I thought for sure it was because Floyd was on World of Tanks, but come to find out he wasn't. He was just being a good boy in his chair. And so yeah, that was pretty intense. Going out there and being like, hey, what's going on? So it's something to do with the sound. I'm not sure what exactly. But yeah, let's get back into these videos. Before we get there, let me blow myself up really quick. I'm gonna be gigantic. I'm gonna be great. Like the Trumper. Just kidding. I gotta resize this so it's the correct size. I gotta go from 100% to 25%. Does that make sense? As far as making it bigger, to me, it does not. But, you know, I'm not the one running TikTok. So, let's do this, shall we? Okay, let me just double check my sound on speaker. Okay, I just don't want to leave my speaker peeps behind. My Irelands, my Iranians, my everybody that's over there. It really blows me away every time I see it. All right, this is another thing about the hammer. Like I said, the shell up here that's above the hammer was on top of the hammer. And also this rusty thing over here, like it was like in layers and layers and layers. And you can kind of see the rust component there. But yeah, let's go. Let's give it a go.
Did you know that Stephen Jay Gould and Hawkins both together looked at this London artifact at the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose, Texas at the same time? What's amazing about it is it's encased in stone, and its handle is turning into coal. So this is either great-great-grandpa's hammer that was lost in the mud, or it was caught up in the worldwide flood 4,500 years ago. What do you think?
I think that's cray-cray.
Okay, so this is a very interesting find about...
And this is really interesting, number two, whoever just came in. Please don't leave, because check this out. Like, look at the size of the fingers. These are the size of the bones that were found in the crypt of Sarah, Noah, etc., or bones that were also found around Noah's Ark. Were they actually giants? I do believe that there are still giants today, and call me a dreamer if you must, but I've just seen too much evidence to suggest not. And Smithsonian, keep trying. You know, it ain't working. We know you're up to something.
About a mile or two from Noah's Ark, there are the ancient ruins of what they know to be Noah's ancient home. And the reason they know this is because there's a marker outside of these ruins. It's a giant stone with an inscription of a
forgot to mute that.
rainbow.
So not
Underneath the rainbow is a ship with animals coming off of it. And then there are 8 carved crosses representing 8 people that came off of the ark.
Okay, so not being a hooer or whatnot, but I'm super tired of CenturyLink, and I've talked to them. I'm like, send me a new router. This is not working. They're like, oh, it means there's too many things on your router. No, there's not. Last time I was by myself. This time it's my son on the TV and me on this. We have 3 things on the internet. This should not be causing issues. I leased the modem. They're not working with me. So I'm just like, okay, so I signed up for the fiber optic thing. That's going to take a while. Until then, I'm willing to do Starlink, but if you guys could help me out, like I said, my Cash App is $TessaTNT. TESSA caps TNT. $sign in front. Please help me out because I'm so sick of this and I want to provide a good show for you. I put so much work into this and I just wanted to share this with you. And for it to be doing this is really pissing me off quite a bit, I must say. But hopefully we can continue without it buffering. I did plug a cap over here. I did try that. It was still doing the same thing. But hey, I might have to switch over again. But let's see what they found when they studied Noah's remains. Not just Noah's, but Sarah's as well.
This was taken from a site that was a dug-up grave at
Look at the size of that
those ancient
finger.
ruins of Noah's home.
And those are the finger bones.
That is one single finger, and this is a regular size woman's hand next to the finger, so that gives you an idea of how large that person's hand had to be.
It really does. And right after this video, I'm sorry. I'm going to try again for this router. If that doesn't work, I might have to reset the main router. I hate to do that because I hate to have interruptions, but let's try some more. Oh, wow, really? Yeah.
Was this Mrs. Noah's finger?
It is believed that this was the grave of Mrs. Noah. And
Okay.
that
And
is
she
Mrs.
had a
Noah's
bit of
finger.
arthritis.
And her name would have been Joan of Arc.
Right.
Yeah, okay. What is this bone here now? This is a thumb bone?
Wait a minute. Have you ever heard that coupling? So Sarah was Joan of Arc. What? I see Joan of Arc being Lilith, but not Sarah. Moses is Sarah? She was a giant. How could she be Joan of Arc? Oh my gosh, now I'm perturbed.
This is a thumb bone. Now, this is not connected to the Noah's Ark location. This was taken from another place in the Middle East, but that's an example. That's a real bone of how large somebody's thumb was, and you can see it in comparison next to Mary's thumb. It's a lot larger. This toe bone has been examined by multiple actual scientists. None of them are willing to come out and say publicly that this is a toe bone because of backlash from the community. But every one of them said undeniably 100% this is a human toe bone.
Yes.
But see, the guy would have to be 15 feet tall to have a toe.
He would.
15 to 20.
Yeah, and that's sitting in the palm of my hand. I have a pretty big hand, as you can see. That's in the palm of it. So that person would have to be easily 12 to 14 feet tall. And not only would their bones have to be longer, but they would have to be wider to sustain that much weight.
Sure, but it was a different world back then. There were giant reptiles. We find the bones all over dinosaurs. They find fossil cockroaches 2 feet long. They find fossil dragonflies, 2-foot wingspan. Fossil grasshoppers 2 feet long. Why can they admit there was giant everything else and can't admit there were giant
Even
humans?
giant plants.
It would prove the scripture is Okay, so this is a very interesting find.
Oh, we
about
can't prove that scripture's the truth. That would be a no-no. Why? Because we've been separating church from state? Why? Okay, so don't have prayer in school. When I went to high school, I went to seminary, and I learned a lot. And then I remember at the very end of that, I believe I was a freshman, maybe a sophomore. I think I was a freshman when I went to seminary. And at the end, she's like, okay, so we covered a lot of stuff. Are there any other questions? Mine was about aliens. So what are your thoughts on aliens? I was so surprised that she answered me and said, aliens do exist. She didn't say where they came from or anything like that, but she said, we're the last in line as far as how this lifeline has been repeated. We're the last in line and they're waiting on us and they're looking to see what we're going to do. How much pressure is that? Come on. We're supposed to sell at Sears or JCPenney. No. That's a lot of pressure as far as we're the last in line and they're just waiting on us. You know, what decisions are we going to make? Are we going to do the same thing every series before us has done? She didn't say all this stuff, but this is what I'm thinking. We're the last in line. We're the end of it all. We're the end before it goes, you know, into war and major war, like war that we've never seen before, because this is the heavens, the earth, everything. And then it's 1,000 years of peace, so to speak. And also, I wanted to share my patriarchal blessing, and I was kind of afraid to get that done because I had like fallen away several times, etc., etc. And I came back and I was pregnant. I couldn't have my baby shower at the church, you know, because I was not representative of what they wanted for church and for younger girls to look up to. It did hurt my feelings at first, but then I was like, I get it. Like, you want them to do better than me, which I totally agree. Even with my kids, I want them to do better than me. I'm not perfect. I will never say I am. But anyways, it said, I will be here in the end times, and I will be a leader among women. I think that spreads further than just women, but specifically women will be looking up to me. And I do have more female children than male. I have 3 females, 1 male. My first grandson is a male, so perhaps that's what they're talking about. Females will look up to me. But I don't know, like, I find it scary, but at the same time, I find it soothing because I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to survive this no matter how much, you know, I've always believed that we're in hell on earth or in purgatory or whatnot. No matter how much worse this is going to get, I'm down for the haul to help all my friends, family that are friends, like all the people that I know and love and feel like the same sort of thing with, like, I am here for you. Like, let's go. But shall we continue with these videos? I think we should. It's getting a little bit weird right now, right?
See something about giants.
Yes, giants.
So we're going to start off really big.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the biggest thing I've got.
Dope.
This is from an 18-foot person, estimated. Big toe bone. There it is.
That is
backwards.
Yeah, your very
Maybe not.
end big toe bone. It's been x-rayed, and this person had
I have
broken
arthritis in my big toe.
bone, and then it healed up. This is from an 18-foot person.
We were out at, we were in Turkey, and we were out at the village where we believed Noah's house to be. And
really,
years ago, they had dug up a grave that we believed was Noah's wife's grave. Just looking around,
Sarah,
where the hole for her grave was, where they had dug it up, and we
it's
found
happening
some bones.
again.
And these bones here have been
Point a finger.
identified by a radiologist and a couple of physicians. None of them want to put their name on their statement, but here's what
Then why? Okay, so you're a doctor, you're into science. Science was my #1 best subject. Then social studies, history, art, etc., etc. Math was last until I got to junior year in high school. I almost said college. But high school. I finally met a teacher named Mr. White. First time he explained it to me, I got it. All those years before, I think it was the shortness of patience, etc., etc. Like, nobody could teach me. But this guy, very patient, very understanding, very first time he explained things to me, I got it. Maybe he was one of my peeps, but after that, I was doing math all over the place, in the malls and stores, everywhere. 20% off, that means.
they told us we have. That we have
I love the way she does this, and then she puts her little pointer finger.
with a touch of
Touch of Arthritis.
Arthritis.
I have seen this one.
And this is the finger. This is.
And then she puts her finger next to it. Oh my god.
See, it's this.
Could you imagine your hand on that hand? I could not imagine that. Okay, so this is a UFO sighting. That is epic. Kerbergage UFO, real footage, 2008. I believe this is the one where I recognize this craft, but hopefully this is the one where they zoom in and you can actually see the two aliens and they're looking around and they're like talking to each other. Hopefully this is it.
This is the video called the Comburgus video, which is a close-up of a craft.
Yes, get closer.
So close that you can see the
I see their little heads. Seriously, get closer.
It is 100% real, and I was there as that was filmed.
Please, can I see the little bobbleheads?
Scientific work for 2.5 weeks, frame by frame, pixel by pixel.
See?
And this is
There they
100%
are.
genuine footage.
Don't they always look so pissed off? Or serious? Why so serious, son? Okay, I've never seen this video before. The way the video is, it seems real like, okay, you're about to get some footage that you're not supposed to. How are you this close to the base unless you are actual military and you're trying to, I'm walking around, I'm sneaking my cell phone, I'm going to take some sneaky deaky little videos. This UFO. I saw a little portion of this earlier when I was uploading it. This shit is pretty crazy. Keep your eyes open. Look at this. You can clearly see the military. Yes, you see the guys walking around. Okay, the way he's breathing, why? Did you just run up there? Or you are in the military and if they catch you, you're going to be in really deep doo-doo. To me, it's kind of overreactive, and I'm not sure if I believe in this or not. Let me know what you think in the comments below, because seriously. Oh yeah, they firing at you? I don't think so. Okay, so that to me is super fucking fake, but you gotta hear this video. This is a Vietnam vet, and he's talking about they went in. I'm not gonna spoil the story for you, but they went in, they came out, and the supervisor, aka the captain or lieutenant or whatever it was, I think it was a captain, was looking for volunteers, and he's like, I volunteer. I need to know what's going on there. And the captain said, no, not you, like one of these other motherfuckers. He's like, no, sir. I need to know what the crack I just saw and shot at that did not take damage. And not that the captain relented, but he went back in and others followed him. And they found the bodies not from gunfire, but from the crash. And then they found their, rounds and stuff like that. Not like the rounds, but the cartridges of the rounds. But this is a very, very good story, and I believe this man.
There in the shrubbery coming out of it are little gray entities, about 4 foot tall. As they came towards me, I'm looking at them and thought, what's going on here? But, I didn't say anything. But till the day I die, I'll remember what the little entity said to me. And the way he said it, it was like, Clifford, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
To be here.
You're not supposed to be here.
I got my M16, pulled it up. You normally don't carry your weapon on full automatic. I put it on full automatic and I started to fire. And I yelled out, VC, VC. No reason for us to believe that night. I have no idea why I was yelling that. And that was to alert the other troops that we were no longer alone, that there were a number of little guys there, I'll put it that way. Well, everyone else started to shoot, but our bullets was having no effect.
They were not VC.
You should see where the bullets would bounce off of them or where they were going through them. All we saw was the flash from our weapons. This was daylight. We couldn't tell what was going on.
Were other people witnessing these little beings?
Oh yeah, every soldier there was witnessing.
How many beings were there?
There were about 15 or 20. And, you know, normally you wouldn't think there'd be that many. And for whatever reason, they followed us all the way
generally
back
not.
to that
Two or
little
three.
stream. We got across it, then they stopped.
And I think the reason there were so many is because this was a wreck. For some reason, they wrecked. I don't know if they got shot down somehow or what. But this was a wreck. The bodies that were found were from, like, shrapnel from whatever hit their craft, whatever made them crash. Nothing from bullet fire.
Did you just exhaust your firepower and nothing happened and said, what are we going to do now? They're still looking at us.
Oh, absolutely. We didn't know what was going to happen, but, you know,
what did
maybe
the commander
we'd have to walk
say?
back. Wasn't saying anything. He was with us going back.
He was scared shitless.
Later on, he was asking
So he
me,
didn't say shit.
do you have any idea what happened there? I don't have a clue. And once again, I don't have a clue, Colonel, because that's what I was called him. But when we got back across there, he said, okay, look, we need to have somebody go back and make sure that everything's all clear, that we're not going to run into any more surprises back there. So I need a volunteer. And I went ahead, no one volunteered. And I got to the point where I felt I had to know what was going on back there. So without saying anything, I got my M16 and I got my bandolier of ammunition. And
Okay, so if you've ever watched body language analysis, like he's looking back and forth, like, you know, he's recalling memories. Sometimes you'll look up to one side. If you're looking up to the left, I think that's your artistic side, so you're trying to make something up. If you look up to the right, you're trying to register into your storage mind. But he's looking back and forth down below, like, he's recalling this shit.
I'll cross back over the little stream. Then the guy I always called the colonel, he says, Stoney, where are you going? I said, you said you needed to know what's going on over there. He says, yeah, but I did not want you to volunteer and I don't want you to go back. I says, Colonel, look, I did not know what we were really coming here for. I didn't know we'd run into anything like this. But I got to know. I got to know what's going on back there.
Good on
Something
you, sir.
I got to know. Was it
Sergeant?
these guys that brought this down? And if it is these guys that brought it down, then we have problems. I says, but I got to know. And I got to find out. So I started to go back. And one by one, each of the other soldiers grabbed their M16, their bandolier, and started following me. And the colonel then laughed.
If you didn't know what bandolier is, it's that little stabby thing at the end of your gun.
But he would have come anyhow if it was just me. He went ahead and came.
Just in case you run out of bullets. You know, you can't shoot anymore, so you stabby stab jab. Just part of the game. There's combat fighting, hand to hand, and then there's stabby stab jab jab.
That's over with me. And with us, should I say.
Oh, yeah.
We went on back. There was nothing there. There was some people who talk about this story say there were big gapping wounds on the... No. There was...
shrapnel.
Wounds that was consistent with shrapnel from
The explosion. Whatever missile, whatever hit it.
And
I'm sorry,
it was
guys.
obvious that some died instantaneously.
And that's sad.
So we went ahead, we took the bodies out of the place.
See, I feel so bad for him, like, when he's talking at this point, because he is human, and even though these are beings of another race, put yourself in that situation. Like, as he is with his troop, he is looking at their troop. Look what happened. Like, what did they do? They didn't do anything to harm them. It's just like he said, like, when he saw them, like, VCs or whatever. Viet Cong, whatever the crack he said, in the jungle, because they're small, they're little, they don't look like you. So that's originally what he thought. What do they think about this craft? Whoever the crack shot this down, I don't know if it was the VC or if it was the Americans, but I think when he walked upon this scene, it might have really freaked him out as far as like looking at it empathically and just feeling like, what if this was my crew and they got shut down for no apparent reason? And look at all these dead guys, very sad. But and this doesn't last for long, like you can hear his emotion for a second, and then as a military guy, gotta wrap it up, put it back in stint. Let's go.
And when we took the bodies out of the plane, we went ahead and put them on blankets on the ground because we didn't have any stretchers. And we called in for the helicopters to come pick them up, and they picked them up. Mm-hmm. Right behind and these were medical helicopters that picked them up. But they picked them up, took them on back to process, to bring them back to the States. When this happened, we had some engineers brought in on a helicopter. Then we had about 4 of the sea cranes. They're CH-54 helicopters, which are big utility hoppers. Yeah. The engineers cut off the wings of the B-52, cut off the tail section, and each of the C-54s picked up a wing, the fuselage, and the tail section, and flew them out of there. We walked back to our staging area. At our staging area,
I also have to tell you, I saw a video last night that blew my MFing mind. Okay, so back in World War I, World War II, we're sitting there, we're scrapping, we're doing everything we can to build these aircraft and everything else. Did you know that there is a field full of hundreds of thousands of aircraft? Some of them are disassembled to supply parts to others that are still flying, but they're just sitting there like in rotation, like they're perfectly in rotation, preserved for at any moment we might have a war and we're just going to get in these and go. They look perfectly fine. Why are they not still used? Are these just in reserve for, I don't want to say it, but WW3?
we picked up everything we had back there, trying to make it look like we were never there. Got on board the helicopters they sent to pick us up. By the time we got back, it was the next night. We got out of our helicopters, went to the same plane that we came in on, and took off. At that time, they went ahead and debriefed us, telling us, okay, here's what happened. Enemy fire brought down a B-52.
Really?
Unfortunately, it went down in a country that was not friendly to the United States government. We went in as a recovery team to recover any survivors that may have.
This was not from the United States government. This was not from the Vietnamese government. This was something else. Were they flying something that looked like one of our planes just to be safe, or was it a sort of cloaking device to make it look like that? Because they never say, oh, well, we found parts of this plane. No, the craft crashed. What was the craft? I know aliens are not flying our ancient aircraft at this point. It's something else, but maybe the shields or something made it look like something else? I don't know.
Survived the crash of that B-52. This is the cover story we are going to be releasing to the media, to the public at large, if this becomes public that this incident occurred. Otherwise, this incident never occurred, nothing happened, and you were never ever here. If you say
that's what you major,
you were here, if you repeat the story of this incident, we can prove that you were never here.
What happened to the extraterrestrials? Was that the last time you seen them?
Yeah, that was it. We have no idea.
And did your commander
they got
comment
up on the helicopters?
Yeah, but he was guessing, I think, too, same as I was.
You were in shock. I mean, everyone
I
was.
did. Yeah, I didn't plan on anything like that to be
Did the
there.
extraterrestrials have like clothing?
They had like the one piece, almost skin tight.
Okay, so this is not the first time this outfit has been seen on aliens. Also in the UK, a long time ago, it was a very sweet old lady, and she was making din-din, and her kids were out playing, and they're like, "Mom, look, there's a UFO!" And they all ran out and they looked up and they saw it, and they saw these Nordic aliens. So Nordic aliens look like Swedish or whatnot. They're very tall, very fit, blonde hair. Like the girls have long blonde hair, the guys have shorter blonde hair. Nordic freaking aliens. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that.
Tight clothing. It was almost like...
Oh yeah, it was the suit. So she was saying like the suit was like a turtleneck and then like skin tight, black all the way down. So from the neck down, and supposedly this suit seemed like it breathed, like it was alive, but I don't know.
The clothes breathed with them. They're in the...
Larry, I don't know the answer to that, but I do know this, that my personal opinion is that the universe is so big, and now there are even theories that there might be other universes. And if that's the case, who am I to say that planet Earth is the only location of a life form that is civilized?
Can't say that, but like I said, what I learned in Bible study, which aliens were never brought up. Some people think that angels are aliens, but in Hughes asked about UFOs, aliens. So we're not better, we're not the best produced, we're not this and this and that and that. We are the last. We are the last chance for humankind to continue before the Great War. World War III is crazy, crazy scary. But what about the war between heaven and earth and below? All throngs, all together.
And organized, like ours. But I'll tell you what that makes me think. I better be a better...
My question was to Clifford Stone. You
oh, no.
Larry, I don't know the answer to that. But I do know this, that my personal opinion is that the universe is so big, and now there are even theories that there might be other universes. And if that's the case, who am I to say that planet Earth is the only location of a life form that is...
And like I said, it's not the only, it's just the last.
...is civilized and organized like ours. But I'll tell you what that makes me think. I better be a better steward of what we have.
Well, and that's what I've been saying. Instead of judging each other and thinking we know everything, how about we reach a hand out and lift someone up from what the fuck they're going through? How about we be a steward to our fellow man? Because I do believe that a lot of us have gifts that they, aka we, don't want to admit to. But we do. So in the past, it's like, oh, well, just ignore that and put that up on a shelf. You forget about that gift, honey-boo-boo child. No, don't. Take that gift, hold it close. Use it, whether you're empathic or whatnot. Be there for your fellow man. Be open-hearted. Love each other as you would love yourself. No matter if you're gay, transgender, black, white, Hispanic, Cubanic, who cares? Just love each other. Help each other out. Do not judge. Your name is not God. You have no right to judge. Can we just help each other? Because what if this is purgatory? What if this is the end cycle? Like, we've all been through our cycle, but right now, we're in this place called purgatory. This seems like everyday's, like, freaking life to us. What if it's not? What if it is purgatory? And this is hardcore, major judgment time. We need to love each other and help each other out during our hard times and try to openly understand.
Because we're messing it up. But are there other planet Earths out there?
Kind of.
I certainly think so, because
Not like
the
this.
universe is
There
so
are
big.
other planet Earths like this, but
An investigation
not like
was
this.
launched into this whole subject, and a document was prepared which concluded that at least 4 species had been visiting Earth for thousands of years.
Yes.
And this is my own view at this stage as well. So, except for that, there are just a couple of things that we've talked about that I'd like to refer to. And one was that we were referring to them as they until this morning when Linda Moulton Howe, I think she was the first one, actually named 3 different species. I have brought my latest book called Light at the End of the Tunnel, The Survival Plan for the Human Species, as an aide-memoir, and I named 5 different species here. I'm aware of more now. As a matter of fact, I saw a document just a few days ago that mentioned 20. And I think you, Mr. Chairman, were interested in some of the places they might come from. And I have in here Zeta Reticuli, R-E-T-I-C-U-L-I, Reticuli, the Pleiades, Orion, Andromeda, and the Altair star systems. So I don't think we can any more refer to them as they, because they're not an amorphous mass. They're different species and consequently may have different agendas. I don't think we can say that they all have the same agenda any more than we could say that the United States, China, and Russia have the same agenda. Our real interests may be very similar.
And do you see those names he's saying? Okay, so this brings me back to Plato. Plato said the Third World War would be the bear, the eagle, and the dragon. That's China, Russia, and America. What the crack? And it's been pushing that way because China and Russia, they're like, we're going to skip and we're going to hold hands. That's so fun. And America's over here, like, having Alzheimer's and dementia. Not all of us, but, you know, that number one figure that's leading us. What the crack are we supposed to do? I don't think he knows what to do. And yes, he's supposed to be a puppet, but what he says online, on camera, etc., really flares some egos.
But as of now, our perceived interests are still quite far apart. And I was glad to have Linda this morning finally say that there are live ETs on Earth at this present time.
Yes.
And at least 2 of them probably working with the United States government. The other species that I learned about not too long ago was called the tall whites. And this is when Paula Harris broke the story just a few years ago. And
so from what I heard, the tall whites were the Nordics. And okay, so I have a couple friends that were abducted in the French Quarter, and when they went into space and went through all their shit, that's who they saw. Tall, white, blonde-haired people. Freaking Nordics. They do exist. I'm gonna have to block this. Sorry, guys.
And through her good offices, I had the chance to talk for about 3 hours with former Airman Charles Hall.
and listened to this absolutely fascinating story of how he was working with, first of all, he was scared out of his skin, but after that, when he got to know them, how he was working with, and finally they became to trust each other and have a good working relationship with the tall whites at the gunnery range at Indian Springs in Nevada. And these tall whites were living on United States Air Force property and working in cooperation with the United States Air Force and sharing technology with them. But just as children survive the idea of the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus when they become adult, I think that tax-paying citizens are quite capable of accepting the new and broader reality that we live in a cosmos teeming with life of various sorts. The fact that some other civilizations are more advanced than we are may be humbling, but that could be a necessary step in our survival.
Larry, I don't know the answer to that, but I do know this, that my personal opinion is that the universe is so big, and now there are even theories that there might be other universes. And if that's the case, who am I to say that planet Earth is the only location of a life form that is civilized and organized like ours? But I'll tell you what that makes me.
Okay, so we've gone through that, and we're at the point of second. Okay, on this break we have Miss Tamara Bubble again with I'm It, Natural Born Winner, Pringles, and then we have Griff with Let Freedom Ring, one of my favorites, Zoo and Prime Example, featuring Carolyn Giles with Dancing Machine. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Okay, yo, here's the scoop. You can still be a slave, yo, whipped and loot. That's the truth. Got big houses, nice cars. That's real cute, but it doesn't mean nothing. You ain't free to choose. When I say free to choose, no alarm clock, don't gotta hit the snooze. The world is backwards, I'm so confused. They say freedom of speech, but when you speak your mind, they blow a fuse. Just being honest, common sense and common. It's kind of ironic. My freedom, recently bought it. Now I'm a target. If I do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, come on, man. Let freedom ring. Yeah. United States become divided states. The world is filled with all kinds of shades, and still resegregate. Parents separate from the children, that's not okay. We should be free to laugh and play. Do it now, before you pass away. Fight for what's right, enough for everybody to get a piece of the pie. Brainwash, social media, full of lies. Go to work, pay bills, then you die. Need a breakaway, guns, get rid of the AKs. Our ancestors paved way since the slave days, but we still hurting. Carry that burden. Stop playing victim. Beat the system. Love is love. It should be shown. Can't grow unless you leave your comfort zone. This I know. I learned all this from the mentorship. Kids don't know what independent is. Take advantage what your parents did. Go against the grid. You have to. Like going to the bathroom. Learn the right songs. Cause of Matthew. Liberty like statue. They call now the present. Cause it's a gift. It should be cherished. Last name fearless. Not Harris. All thanks to my parents' parents. Now, love the last name every time that I hear it. Cause I know what it represents. Climb the fence. So now I got freedom. Such a beautiful thing. Freedom. Such a wonderful thing. Freedom. Such a beautiful thing. Such a wonderful thing.
Just make hits. You won't do all that posting naked pics for likes and I can't fake this. Seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner. Cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Bentley. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner. Cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm a lover and a fighter and a giver and a pleasure and pain and boss deliver it out. Yeah, I make this look real easy. Everybody hate Chris, but I'ma win like breezy. But I started later on the way to the top and can't stop, so don't push not one button on this elevator. They try to push my buttons and start levitating. Rise above it all, I can tell that you fake when you're shaking my hand and the smile on your face shows me even you're greeting and meeting and love is hating. I'm actually amazing, but modestly saying I ain't waiting for cosigns or playlists. Cause I ain't nowhere close to my greatness. I don't do all that boasting, just make hits. You won't do all that posting naked pics for likes and I ain't make this up, I can't fake this. Seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner. Cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm seeing it, loving it, feeling it, breathing it. Saying it, doing it, running it, barely. I'm a natural winner. I'm the one that you invite to meet your parents for dinner. Cause I can take a couple L's and I'ma bounce right back. Just so you and all your friends can hit the bounce like that. Cause I'm the one you gon' call when you're lonely. I'm the new girl on the block you gon' show off to your homies. I'm telling you now we gon' vibe in the booth. How you crave another feature like I'm your sweet tooth. All my people wanna see me shine, but I don't pray for you to fall cause I don't play with karma. When I slide through it's gon' be bad timing like watch out little homie, watch out.
what you really want. You can be anything you want. All I want you to do right now is leave it soon. All I wanna do. All I want you to do right now is leave it soon. Oh, God, I'm wasting time. Not trying to lose my mind. Know that I am wasting time. Not trying to lose my mind. If you want to get left behind in this rat race, go back to my place where I know it's safe, and lock myself in my room. Won't watch the news, cause it is so confused. What can I do if I lose you? All I want you to do right now is leave it soon. All I wanna do. All I want you to do right now is leave it soon. Okay. She was a loompa loompa, now her body's super duper. Getting a lot of attention she was never used to. Hitting me up like I was Uber. Got a few miles, so I guess she's a cougar. Be a winner, never seen her with a loser. Gorilla talk, ooga booga booga. Scuba, tuba, diver, I'm a rider. Getting cider, sweet like cider. Fighter, rider, neither wants to get it going. Know it, hold it, fold it, blow it. Wait, I'm joking. Cages broken from these beasts from down east. On the streets, it's a zoo. All I want you to do right now is leave it soon. All I wanna do. All I want you to do right now is leave it soon. Oh, God.
Life.
Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big baby money grip, I be stacking them chips. Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip, I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can, all the money really got me dancing. Big baby money grip, I be stacking them. I ain't never been afraid of a strange beat. New track from the crates, but this ain't me. Lights on, bills paid, bring the same heat. Couldn't picture me spend the same unless you bring me. Low key, humble brag, never change me. New money coming in, the bank's changing. The quarters to dollars, the checks every hour. That money come in when I sleep or I shower. That's motivation, that dedication. I can see my dreams, I'm already chasing. That bezel clean, and watch me embrace it. I'm a single girl, but already taken like a stick-up kid. They already shaking. No Harlem, Brooklyn, being known for break-ins. Bubble on deck, being known for caking. Stacking and saving that move up past the hood money. This that, we been eating good money. This that, really wish you would, homie. This that, see you laughing but broken funny. So get up out the hood, homie. Ain't no rentals over here, dummy. No, they don't really think that we own it. Who we been poppin', look on. Love the money, but the money love me long. Tell me on. Yeah, the investor got the money with my own ground. That move up out the hood money. This that, we been eating good money. This that, really wish you would, homie. Who we been poppin' like Pringles in the can. All the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip. I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can. All the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip. I be stacking them chips. Pringles in the can. All the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip. I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can. All the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip. I be stacking them. I ain't never been afraid of investing. I'm talking more than dice games and I'm scratch offs. Lottery jackpots and hundreds of millions. So who you think they making money on the backs of? Ain't no gambling today. Ain't no gambling with my money that I built up. Got my money strong and my money long. Money song. Not one business, but no business. Natural growth, I mean no business. New growth like my natural hair. Yeah, I'm 10 toes down in the show business. Like back up off, man. Ain't the move if we don't go business. Bring the track up with the tracks out in the booth. Way steady running your mind, talking this and that. But it's that move up out the hood money. This that we been eating good money. This that really wish you would, homie. This that see you laughing but broke ain't funny. So get up out the hood, homie. Ain't no rentals over here, dummy. And no damn really think that we own it. Who we been poppin', we been poppin'. Look on, love the money, love me long time it on. Yeah, the investor got the money with my own ground. That move up out the hood money. This that we been eating good money. This that really wish you would, homie. So we been poppin' like Pringles in the can. All the money really got me dancing. Pringles in the whip. I be stacking them chips like Pringles in the can. All the money really got me dancing. Big bank, baby, money grip. I be stacking them chips.
That was badass. That was prime example featuring Miss Carolyn Giles. I really like that a lot. Well, it shows I'm unmuted. Why is my mic not working over here? Weird. It's working down here, but not up here. Now is it working? Oh, it's still not. Weird. Anywho, let's continue on over to this species. Hello, my name is Simon, and I like to do drawings. Were you just looking at my bum? You were looking at my bum. You're a little cheeky monkey, aren't you? But no. I was looking at different things on Reddit ghost stories, and how old were you when you had your first ghost encounter? Was it in childhood or adulthood? I was 7, curious to hear other people's experiences. I kind of want to get into this, but at the same time, I don't know where this will lead, so I'm going to give it a 1-up and move on to the next one. This one is by Hoot Toot Cap. Sounds like a pretty vicious shrap. Hello. I was 16. Let me make sure my sound is working. Let me stop the cam. Yep, looks like it's working there. Let me look over here. Yeah, for some reason, this one ain't working. Why is my regular mic not working? I do not know, but let's continue. I was just 16. We just moved into a newly built apartment. I was looking out onto our hallway one afternoon, and I saw a tall man wearing a brown suit and a hat float down the hallway towards me. He had no features. He disappeared shortly after, and I went on to have many other encounters in that new apartment until we got a priest in to bless the apartment. We moved very shortly after. Well, that's pretty intriguing, I must say. This one is by PFOSTTT. I don't remember the specific age, but it was somewhere between the ages of 4 and 6. I used to have a very hard time falling asleep. Hey, guess what? I still do. And it was in my room. Maybe it was just too quiet or something. I'm not really sure. Sorry if the story is a little long. I remember it vividly. It had to have some time in the summer because I wasn't going to school at the time. I was laying in bed, doing my normal tossing and turning. The way my bed was positioned in my room, could see the door, and the door was shut. My guess was that it had to have been sometime around 10 p.m., but I had turned over to my left side and was facing the door. I had my blanket covering most of my body except one of my ankles/feet were exposed. You know what that means. It's gonna reach out and grab you. Just kidding. I was staring at the door, starting to doze off, when out of nowhere, a white hand grabbed my ankle. What did I just say? And I heard as clear as day a man's voice whisper yelling, I don't know who else. Sorry, that's not what he said. I don't know how else to describe it. Go to sleep. Then I watched the hand fade away. Well, that's pretty perturbing. The next morning, when I came downstairs, I asked my dad if he had come into my room that night. Because your dad would have done that, right? Why aren't you going to sleep? He said he did not, and when he asked why, I said, well, I thought you were wearing your gloves and came in and told me to go to sleep. My father was an auto mechanic, so we always had boxes on boxes of those white rubber gloves around the house. My mom, who has also had a paranormal experience, asked me what happened, and I told them, and my brother, who had just come downstairs, what happened. My brother, who is about 5 years older than me, asked to see which ankle it was, so I pulled up my pajama pants. And on my ankle, there was what I would describe as a bruise in the shape of a hand. I don't have much recollection of what happened afterwards, as that was over 20 years ago, but I never saw that hand again, and to this day, I can't explain it. Both my brother and dad said it wasn't them, and it couldn't have been my mom or sister, because the voice I heard was definitely a man's voice. Oh no. This one is by Agitated Risk 166. Agitated-Risk 166. I was told stories about when I was 2. I used to say, "Man!" was at the window. Later on, I found out it was an evil entity. Ba-ba-ba-da. Omni-Owl, O-M-N-I, capital O-W-L. I was really young when I remember seeing my first ghost, like 3 to 4. My great-grandmother haunted her little granny house on my grandparents' property all my life. Lots of people saw her looking out the window just about any time that you looked over at it. I didn't realize what I was seeing until I got older and heard other people in my family talking about her. But the first ghost that I ever had any real interaction with was when I was around 8 years old, and it became quite the interaction. It started out small and innocent and grew into a full-blown poltergeist haunting. Us kids had a playhouse in our yard with a hook lock on the outside of the door. The first signs of a ghost I remember was it repeatedly getting unlocked and left open right after we had clearly closed it. After that, we started having our outside toys getting scattered around. Our mom would tell us to clean up, and within minutes, they'd be back out again. We all blamed the neighbor kids, even though we never saw them, and it didn't make any sense. One day, my mom asked me to try on clothes to see what didn't fit anymore. While I was going and doing that, I got this uneasy feeling that I was being watched. Just totally freaked out so much that I went to tell my mom. She came into my room, checked around, closed the blinds, and again the neighbor kids got blamed. She told me to lock my door, then said that if I felt that way again to come let her know. As I continued going through my closet, that feeling hit me so hard again that I panicked. I unlocked my door but couldn't get it open. It would only go like 4 to 5 inches and felt like someone was holding on to the doorknob, but I could clearly see that nobody was there. I slammed it shut, slid down the floor with my back against the door, and started crying. I screamed, jumped up and yanked the door open. This time there was no resistance, and I nearly broke it because I totally expected it still to be hard to open. My mom didn't know what to think. I didn't want to sleep in my room that night, but she told me to leave my door unlocked and she'd come and check on me. She did several times until the third time the door was closed and she couldn't open it. It didn't feel locked. She could push it open a couple of inches. So she thought I must have gotten scared and pushed some stuff up against my door. But in the morning, it was wide open, and she took things more seriously when I told her that I didn't lock my door in the middle of the night. After that, we started seeing the ghost, a little boy around 5 years old. We'd look out the window and see him playing with our toys or walking through the yard. My dad didn't believe any of us until the ghost started peeking in the windows and he finally saw it himself. Then the ghost started coming into the house, doing the same thing to the toys indoors that he was doing outside. You little buck-rosted. One day, my mom got mad because she had just cleaned up our playroom and came back a few minutes later to find everything scattered. She yelled at the little ghost boy, telling him that it was okay for him to play with the toys outside, but he was not welcome in the house. That's when shit hit the fan. He started trashing our house, making loud noises, and suddenly appearing inside right in front of us, like scaring people as they came around the corner or opening a door. My mom was sleeping in our antique bedroom one night and woke up because it felt like someone was sitting on her chest. She couldn't move and was having a hard time breathing. She looked over at this creepy old doll that she had displayed in a wooden high chair next to the bed, and it started moving. Its head was turning back and forth. Ew. And its arms were going up and down, slowly at first and faster. She was finally able to break free, threw the doll to the ground, and said she was terrified the rest of the night. That was the final straw for her. The next night, she invited some church friends over. Ew, that should be a good time, right? And we held a candlelight seance. So, I don't know if people from the church are doing a candlelight seance, but okay. Sounds intriguing. During it, we were all holding hands and praying for this little boy to be guided to heaven, to get released from our world and move on into the afterlife. Suddenly, it felt like a gust of wind burst out of the center of the circle that blew out all of the candles and oil lamps in the whole house, and everyone decided that it was over, that it worked. I'm kind of complacent, and I don't believe it actually did. Well, they said, and it really did! We never heard or saw the little ghost boy again. Later, when talking to our neighbors, they said that while this stuff was happening at our house, they experienced the same thing at their house, too. He started out playing in their yard, and by the end, he was scaring the crap out of people inside and dumping out their stuff, too. We have no idea where he came from. We lived way out in the country, only those 2 houses within miles. We don't know why he suddenly started haunting us or why this child ghost was acting so scary. All I do know is that it has stuck with me for the rest of my life. It lasted just a few months, like April through October, which is long enough. I'll never forget it. It wasn't the last time that I've seen a ghost or even experienced poltergeist-like activity in my house, but being so young at the time, this was the first time that I realized that ghosts are real and absolutely can affect our world. This one is by A. Quiet Borderline. I was actually pretty young, maybe 4 or 5, so I don't really remember it that well, but according to Mum, I claimed a nice lady was coming in to tuck me in every night. Mom would come in every night to tuck me in, but would find my blankets already tucked in around me. My dad was at work, our nanny had gone home for the night, and my younger brother was a baby. She thought it was weird at first, but then I talk about a nice lady coming in to tuck me in. She thought it was me having an imaginary friend until she dropped a picture of her grandma, who had just passed away. And as she was putting it away, I pointed at it and said, "That's the lady who tucks me in every night." Mum doesn't believe in ghosts, she really doesn't, but she did tell me that since my great-grandma died of Alzheimer's, she does take comfort in the idea of her grandma taking care of her great-grandchildren. This one is by Moogie, Moogy08. The first ones I remember were when I was around 5 years old onwards, but my sister tells me that when I was younger, around 3 years old, I used to talk all the time about a little girl in a bonnet who I used to see in our house. Could be so. This one is by Spray73, SBRAY 73. Around 4 probably, was more noises and drafts, banging on windows, under the tub, or behind closed doors. The worst was a cold blow at the back of my neck one morning. I ran into my parents' room and didn't sleep with the back of my head uncovered for years after. I feel you there. I cover my head and neck every night with a sheet. This is by OpenWash9405, Open-Wash-9405. When I was 16, at that time, I was home alone with only my cat. Then my cat stops and looks down the hallway. I look too and I see 2 feet wearing sandals. After seeing it, I ran out of the house. Yes, I feel you there. That could be quite scary, I must say. Rita needs stability. So Rita, RITANEEDSSTABILITY. Rita needs stability. I was 14. My grandma, who had dementia, passed away that afternoon, and when I went to sleep, I told my mom I wish I got to know her, disease-free, and that I hoped she knew who I was and loved me. In the early morning, I woke up, but couldn't really move and felt someone petting my hair, which I thought was my mom, but when I looked, it was my grandma. She was sort of ghost white, transparent. I don't know how to describe it better than this. Sorry. Sitting in my bed and smiling at me. I felt calm and loved. Then I said to her that we will miss her a lot and that we loved her, but she needed to go. She disappeared, and I like to think she is somewhere watching over us. I miss her a lot, and this encounter means everything to me. That's pretty awesome. I really like that story. This one is by Gallica. It's Gallica. I was 10. I lived in a creepy haunted house that I still have nightmares about. Bed shaking, noises, the feeling of being watched, the whole shebang. One night, I woke up in the middle of the night, stretched, rolled over, and saw a glowing white human figure standing in the doorway of the room me and my 2 younger sisters were sleeping in. I freaked the hell out and hid under the blankets for 2 hours. Or all night, perhaps. I've done that. I still wonder if it was explainable and in our heads, but yeah, 0 out of 10, wouldn't recommend. High five. Good one there. Metal Guy _J. I was 3 or 4. Short version is I was seeing my great-grandfather who passed away before I was born. Confirmed when I pointed to an old photo of him in my grandmother's photo album and called him by name. I'm reliably told neither my parents nor grandparents had used his name around me or had photos in places I would have been able to see them before that day. That's pretty cool. Black Cat 1206 said 3 or 4. Fuzz Team 7 said 26. It happened at work. Killed MFJS said, I was 8, entered the gray man across the brook, a lot of screeching and running to a 1712 grave. Ooh. Impressive match 713 said, 7. Vegetable _holiday _41 said, elementary school age. 1967, best year. My one and only, age 39, leased a storefront in Algonquin, Maine, where there are lots of sea captains' houses along the shore road where I was located. My dog would cock her head, listening to something I couldn't hear, saw something I couldn't see, and she stared down the hall. She made the strangest guttural sounds. 2 people came in over the course of the summer and asked me if I knew of a spirit that lived with me. I tried to get more info out of them. One of them left quickly, said she didn't want to talk about it. The other person told me the entity was okay with my living there. They supported me. Most people would think if you're living with a ghost, get out of there, but there were complications. I had no other place to go and I needed to run a store. He/she did IRK. I really know or I really don't know. Hold on a minute. Where the heck am I? Oh, he or she did irk me one night. I thought it was like initials for something, but it's actually irk. This ghost actually irked them. Okay, got it? Let's go. He or she did irk me one night when the stereo went on in the middle of the night at one of the other stores in the building that had a lock cage around it, so I couldn't shut it off. It was an 80s boombox with one simple push button for on/off. No way to trip it. I went back 30 years later and there was a t-shirt store there, and some young female employees told me that yes, they had encountered a ghost. One refused to be there at night alone. This post has me planning to go back this fall for another visit. Separate-dark-5680 said 10. ... Extinct-seed said 8. Illustrious_Bill 2820. I kind of had to, I guess, from when I was really young. I kind of attribute both of them as being my first experiences with the paranormal. In one, I was about 5 or 6. I was playing in my backyard and was up on a grassy area with a retaining wall down to the level of the house. It's hard to describe the backyard, but I was able to see 3 sides of the house from where I was. The back wall had only windows. On the right was a patio area with a back door, and on the left, a path leading to the garage door. I was playing as normal when I saw a figure moving quickly towards the garage door in the corner of my vision. She wasn't exactly floating, but didn't seem to be walking either. The figure was mostly black, but had discernible features rather than just a black mass. She wore a big flowing black gown, a sort of old Victorian Gothic type style, but all of it was black and had long black hair. Oh my god, that sounds like the one I saw when I was 6. Okay, let's get back to it. That's all I was able to see. As soon as I had focused my attention on the spot, she was gone. Now, the strangest part to me was that in my 6-year-old mind, really, I instantly thought, that's a witch! It wasn't just a thought, though. I somehow knew this was a witch. But as a 5 to 6-year-old, the only media that I had been exposed to about witches showed them with green skin, pointy hats, big noses, warts, and broomsticks. So how did I know that this was a witch? To this day, every now and then, I see her out of the corner of my eye every now and then. She's always darting past and disappearing. This one is by illustrious_Bill 2820. Mention of death. Bum bum bum. The second one started probably before I could even remember. I think I remember this all happening when I was 4, but from what my parents have told me, it may have happened earlier. It could have, and then continued until you were 4, and then you kind of got past it. I don't know. It's kind of weird how paranormal spiritual things happen, you have gaps in time from when things do happen. So maybe this is your latter years of it happening. I don't know. The house we lived in at the time, I believe, had some sort of weird energy. I would have the strangest dreams for a kid, some that I remember to this day. In one, I was playing with my toys when I heard crying, so I headed out to see what was happening. I found my family all hugging and holding each other and went to ask what was wrong. My dad turned to me and said, "Poppy's dead." I woke after that and later found out I had that dream on the anniversary of his death. I wasn't even really aware of his death much at that age. Anyway, the first actual paranormal entity I believe I did encounter, I have always called the tall man. Okay, so you encountered that early. I encountered this in later years, and I called him Tall Man because that's what he was. He was tall and lanky and just awkward. And I called him the Tall Man, and then Robert from Australia said, You do know there's actually an entity called the Tall Man." And I was like, what? Really? And now here you are backing it up. The Tall Man. He's entirely black and is just a figure. He'll take up the size, oh my God, of any door frame. That's exactly what he did. Large or small. I used to wake up crying for my mum because I would see him in my doorway. My parents would brush it off as nightmares, but still I sleep with all the doors closed because I swear I still see him otherwise. He never comes close or never speaks, but will occasionally turn his head. No matter how dark it is, I swear he's darker. Okay, so it was crazy. And, it was right after Halloween. It's when I went to New Orleans and was at my sister's house. And I'm like, hey, let's use this equipment. I used it in her house. The first thing I saw was her friend. It was like one of her besties who would occasionally drop dimes. After this, he dropped dimes at my house too. But it was a sign from him that he told my sister, I will drop dimes for you to know that I'm here. So she was there. Her plumber friend was there. He was there. And he's just like, you could see him bitching, complaining, whatever. He was so mad at her. And I was picking up on this. And I was telling her, like, here he is. I'm telling you what's what. I'm just making sure my sound's okay. Hello. Am I too loud? I don't know why people keep popping in and out. Anywho's, her friend came over after that. This is after I saw the two twin babies. I was like, oh my God, they're so cute. There's two little twin babies, and they toddled out of the room. They were afraid to before because of the tall man. But for some reason, they felt safe to come out, and they did. And my sister came over. She's like, what are you talking about? She's like looking, trying to see. She's like, I don't see what you're talking about. I'm like, they're right there. Like, I'm used to looking at this FLIR camera, so I know what signatures are, etc. Like, I could see the two little babies. One was crawling, one was teetering and tottering. They were like toddler size, maybe like 1 or 2 years old. The tall man was trying to keep them in this room. I don't know if he was involved with their deaths somehow, but he was there in the very same room. He generally abducted them, but they were able to come out that night. Perhaps because it was Halloween. Makes you wonder. But they were so cute. I was like, oh my God, there's 2 little twin babies coming out. He got pissed off. And this showed, like, yes, he was standing in the doorway and he kept picking out and stuff like that. But he would never come out. And I'm like, there's a tall man, like, he keeps peeking out. I just called him Tall Man because he was bigger than, like, the innards of the doorway and stuff. Sorry, my hair is getting all weird. Then I went out on the back porch on Halloween using my flare camera. You would not believe how many motherfucking spirits I saw. I'm going to say between 20 and 30. It was mind-blowing. There was Civil War ones. There was military ones, like doing tummy crawls. There was Native American little kid ones. There was so many different spirits. My mind was blown. Very next night, her friend comes over. He's a really cool guy. He's driving his motorcycle. For some apparent reason, his motorcycle doesn't want to work anymore. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to leave you here, okay, because we got to go to the AutoZone or whatever and get parts for his bike. Really? You going to leave me here? And this is when I first produced tinnitus. This is where my tinnitus came from. So I'm like, okay. I smoked on the front porch, went in, hung out in her room, waiting for her, waiting forever. Who knows what she was doing, tweak her time. But I came to the door and looked out, looked around, then I looked over to where this doorway was, and there he was, just standing there staring at me. And I'm standing in my doorway, he's standing in his doorway. I'm like, oh yeah, tall man, you're all big and bad. You killed those babies. You're such a fucking badass. I ain't afraid of you. Guess what the fuck he did to me? He took his face and projected it, like huge, from his doorway, which was about 25 feet away, into my face. Like huge. Huge. Scared the shit out of me. Closed the door, sat there, smoked some tweeds, smoked some cigars, whatever. I know I'm not supposed to smoke in the house, but fuck a bunch of that. I ain't going nowhere till you get home. I was supposed to the next day take a flight home, and my husband called me. And I was so super tired, hanging out with my sister, my nephews, everybody else. Like, we both cuddled up. Like, I was under one blanket, she was under another on top of the blankets, and went to sleep. I guess Vern called me, and I answered, and he heard a man's voice. He heard a man taking advantage of me, and that really scares the shit out of me. Like, what exactly happened that night? Because I don't remember answering that phone, and I know all of our doors were locked. There was nobody there. So was that the tall man taking advantage, doing things to me that he shouldn't have? And I even told Vern, like, when I woke up that day to get up to go to the plane, I was still covered in my same blanket. I smell weed. I think there's a skunk outside. Sorry. But no, there was nobody there. Nobody that could have taken advantage of me. Except for the tall man. Did the tall man come through? And from what Vern said, it was very, very not cool. He was laughing, saying things, etc. I was moaning. I don't remember any of this because I was sleeping. Then woke up early that morning, me and my sister driving from Ratcliffe, Arkansas to Fort Smith, Arkansas to catch a plane, stopping for breakfast at a McDonald's and continuing on. And to me, that's very frustrating. Like, if something did happen to you, wouldn't you want to know? I don't know. Sorry for the interruption with Reddit ghost stories, but that was one of mine, the tall man, and that's why I shared it, because this story reminded me of it. The tall man is no joke. And it's funny that I called him that just because of how he looked. I didn't know that was what he was really called, and he's a bad guy. He's a very bad guy. And my friend from Australia was like, there's a guy called the tall man. I'm like, no. Anyways. This is by Dennis Gardner. 21, home all alone when shadows would walk up behind me. Scratching sounds behind my bed at night. Lights turning themselves on at the switch. Loud banging noises in the wee hours. Things moving by themselves. The run-of-the-mill stuff. This is by Severe Assignment 943. Severe _ Assignment 943. Narrator. No one here has had a first, a second, or last ghost encounter. Ghosts are fictional. It's called schizophrenia. I could say, go fuck yourself. The name of this guy is Masturbator 92. Never seen one? Because they ain't real. Okay, well, you're the master debater, so how about you go on and take care of yourself? Go take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is from Denver. Helping unhoused folks in this heat. Hello all. I don't think this is a ghost story, but this is for real stuff, so I'm hoping you can help. This heat is ridiculous. My friend and I are going to hand out frozen water and supplies tomorrow. I know there are cooling centers, etc. We want to try to reach folks that may not be, as close to these resources. I could just go downtown, but I was hoping to help folks out all around the area. Any suggestions? Thank you and stay cool. That's a super epic idea. Hand out frozen water bottles. That is such an epic idea. Oh my god, I thought we were in ghost stories and it's talking about aborts and stuff. Maybe this could be a ghost story? I've scheduled an abortion after I found out that my husband cheated. This is by R/AITAH. _remark speed 12. Found out that my husband was texting with a friend in our group. He ended it when we found out that I was pregnant. Yes, but it lasted at least 3 months of very flirty texts and sex texts. I am 16 weeks pregnant and I found out now when we are on vacation. I am coming home on Monday and I scheduled on Tuesday. I haven't told him yet because I know that he will be devastated, and then I am trapped abroad or aboard with an inconsolable man. But I should tell him, shouldn't I? Or maybe just tell him that I had a miscarriage, but why would I want to ease his feelings? We are over and he is the reason. Aita? For wanting an abortion after I found out that he cheated on me? And should I tell him? I need advice as well as judgment. That's something that I would not share. But that's on you, girl. You go. Hopefully somebody gets back to you. I'm not going to read those comments because that is too personal for me. R/high strangeness. You, Tim Garrity. What do you swear you saw, but don't have any proof of? This was a topic over the conspiracy forum. Thought it would be a perfect discussion for this community. Edit. Honestly surprised to see 7 different comments all mentioning seeing a glowing orb. I had no idea this was so common, or even really a thing. Yeah, honey, boo child, I've seen one. New Cow 4125 saw a green one. My mentor cat was looking for a green one. The only ones I ever saw were like fire colored, so red, orange, yellow, red, orange, yellow. Green orb. I'm the guy who saw and hung out with a green orb on the 4th floor of an apartment complex in the mid-90s. I mentioned it recently and have found myself mentioning it a lot as others have had similar sightings. Small green orb, a little bigger than a tennis ball. So, pause on that. Small green orb is supposed to be healing. I don't know if you know about that, but Kat, my mentor, was looking for that. Gray, dark green, gray, sand being forced around it, inside it, in a circular kind of way, where the different shades moved way through each other. It made no noise, of course not. It emitted a small amount of light. Really, it was not a lot, just a small amount. At one point, everything in the upper area of the stairwell, walls, window, floor, all looked like they were having light reflected off of a large body of water onto them, but I was unaffected. I didn't cast a shadow on it, and it didn't have the water effect on me. I wasn't afraid. I initially ran, but it moved almost instantaneously right next to me, and then all of a sudden, I wasn't scared. I felt like it was communicating with its actions when it did this. Like it could harm me, but it didn't want to or need to. Most aspects of it are difficult to describe. Like the water patterns were more swirly. It wasn't still when it was still. It was glitchy, like it was both moving very fast and not at all. It didn't even make noise when it moved very fast down the half flight of stairs. I don't know how long I hung out with it. I want to say more than 20 minutes. Happy to answer questions with, this was almost 30 years ago now. Laugh out loud. I really don't remember much more about the immediate before and after. Severe child abuse. I don't have a greatly good memory of my childhood in general. Edit. Yes, same guy. I left out. I have severe aphantasia, so I personally don't attribute what I saw and experienced to imagination. I have no visual imagination, and I don't think you're imagining it either. So, like I said, when I first met Kat, she became my paranormal mentor, and I was actually thrown at her from a friend of mine named Ann Cook. And she was helping her, and she's like, due to my online presence and stuff, she felt like there was something about me that could help her. Maybe I had more followers or something. But I started a GoFundMe and stuff for her because she had cancer, and it started in her liver, moved to her lungs and her brain, etc. Like, it was very, very bad. Very, very bad. Something you can't get over. And this was pre me seeing, shortly before I saw my first alien orb. When I first met her, I was pregnant with my daughter. So yeah, prior to this, I did see my first orb. And it was the same one both times. Sorry, I'm trying to put things in line because it's been a while. Yeah, I was pregnant with my son during the Dylan Redwine case. They were all out, picketing and posting, and I was totally behind them. Like, I knew Mark Redwine did something to Dylan, but at that point I was breastfeeding my son. I couldn't be out there. Okay, so prior to that, I did see my first alien orb. And it was, like I said, fire-colored. It looked like liquid fire going through a glass orb. So you have an orb like this, which was about 20 to 50 feet high. Glass orb like this, liquid fire, orange, red, yellow, which at a distance looked orange. Months later, so he was born in September, October, November, December. He was about 3.5 months old, whatever. Me and my old man are playing World of Tanks, and then I'm like, okay, I can't play this anymore because Floyd is being very persnickety and needs me to help him out as far as breastfeeding. At that point, there was a big one, like 3 by 4 feet in circumference. Same thing. Liquid moving fire. Red, yellow, orange. I detached him from the breast, laid him on the couch, opened the sliding glass door, stepped out 1 foot, stepped back in, because I don't know what this thing's intentions are. Closed the door, called my family over. Both my daughters saw the same thing. My husband saw that flapping its wings at a very slow rate of speed. What the fuck was that? I don't know. But I do know that Kat, after that, was looking for a green orb because supposedly those are healing. I'm not quite sure. Wow. Well, I'm going to tune this down a little bit and night, love and light to all of my peeps out there, thank you so much for hanging out with me on Trippy TikToks with TessaTNT. It was a pleasure hanging out with you. Thank you to all of our friends on We Are Paradox Media's Facebook, KPNL Radio, eTalk Radio, Twitter, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, StreamYard, wherever the crack else you're listening this evening. Beyond the Omniverse tonight. I had a wonderful time this evening, and I can't wait to do it again. Tomorrow night, it's story time with me, TessaTNT, so guess what that means? We got Mr. Douglas Adams in the house with The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. It's going to be freaking epic. It's a super epic freaking book, and I hope you guys join me for that. It's going to be awesome. And then at the very end of the show, during the third hour, we will partake in a creepy video together. If you're down, don't forget, we are all in this together. Together, we can make the world a bit better. And together, my friends, we are Paradox Media, because without you, there is no us or me. Also, if you have any hints, tips, guests, anything you want to send to me as far as objections, dejections, positivity, we are paradoxmedia@gmail.com. Let me know who you want on the show, and I will try my best. I'm sorry, I've been so busy working, being a caretaker. It's kind of like working with an energy vampire. It's like, it's not that many hours, but it's very, very draining and straining. So any ideas, please let me know, and I will do my best to book them. I am for cereal. Anyways, nighty night, love and light. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope to see you back here tomorrow night for story time with me, TessaTNT. Until then, take care of my yous, and I will see you here next time. Same crazy time, same damn crazy place. Bye, man. Take care of my yous.